Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to Movement Monday with Kaz Talks and I. Let's see if she's here already. So we're streaming live on Instagram and on um, YouTube today. And let me just take a quick look and see where we're at with Kaz Talks. I think she's here. Oh, she is there.
Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Not too bad.
I'm going to shut off our comments on Instagram. And before we get started, I just want to say something about my shirt today. So I know it's coming in backwards, but Karen and I, as you know, those of you who know, this is Karen Windsor, known as Kaz Talks across the socials, as Sculpt and Change Therapies is where she does all of her hands-on work in the UK. We were talking earlier this week about affirmations, and I actually do affirmations kind of all day long throughout the day. However, the way that I do them is that I talk to myself and I say them to myself. But Karen reminded me of that I should be writing those down once a day at least. And I was like,
Okay, so
oh,
like a gratitude list.
yes, like a
So
gratitude
what I
list.
said was that you should do a gratitude list because I do a gratitude list every single day, either in the morning or the evening. But when I'm putting everything down, I'm not just talking about myself, I'm talking about world events. I'm bringing everything into my life that I want to be grateful for. And affirmations are a way to do that. Affirmations, I tend to say them in the morning, like gratitude. When I'm doing gratitude, I'm grateful for, I am grateful for. With affirmations, I am talking about the person that my higher self is now, or who I'm aspiring to be. It's something that I teach, so it's not just something that I do. It's something that is now within my clinic, within my mindset work that I do with clients, within my clients who come in who just want physical treatments. Those treatments turn into mental and emotional treatments as well. Often it's all combined, so it's like a formula. It combines itself into a formula, including that work, and then you see the change happen up here, and when you see the change happen up here, you see it happen on the body, which is the most incredible thing.
Absolutely. So Karen reminded me to go ahead and start writing stuff down as a gratitude. And but today I was like, wait a minute, let me wear this affirmation shirt because this is something that we should all be saying to ourselves all day long. We should be saying, I am powerful, I am kind, I am confident, I am beautiful, I am strong, I am capable, I am, what is that one?
Grateful.
Grateful. I am me. And then I think we should add another one that says, I am alive. And so this shirt actually, believe it or not, is from Fashion Nova Curve. And I think it, speaks to all of us and is a great reminder of how we should speak to ourselves and, throughout the day. So anyway, okay, here we are. I'm Beth, Curvy Girl Beth, known across socials. I am a woman who has lipedema. That's what gives me this luscious shape. And as part of that, movement is a key part of our management. and movement is medicine. So that's what Karen and I are here to share our version of what we do to keep our bodies strong, make them stronger, keep them mobile, make them more mobile, whatever. And we're just sharing some of the tips that work for us and hope that they will help you as well. Neither of us are professional trainers, so we're just two women sharing our journeys with you today here on YouTube and Instagram. So I hope it helps you. As I understand it, we're doing an arm workout today.
No, we're doing functional fitness. So we've got two moves. We've got two upper body moves and two lower body moves. You need dumbbells or cans or bottles of water, or you can use your own body weight. I have knee supports on already because I know that I need the extra support with Ethestanos and Hypermobility. So we will be doing 4 functional exercises. We're heading for 10 reps. I want to do 12 reps because in those 2 other reps, that's where we get the burn through the muscle and where the muscle can build. So we're going to start off with some stretching for the upper body. We're going to stretch on the lower body. And then we're going to go straight into 3 sets of each exercise, 10 to 12. I want the 12 reps. So people listening, we're going to go for 12. Okay, so I'm going to come back here. I'm hoping that you can all see me. I'm going to have to raise that slightly. Okay. Right. Okay. So we're going to start with shoulder rolls. We're going to go for double shoulder rolls.
What's a double shoulder roll?
Both your shoulders at the same time.
I never heard it said that way.
2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to go for the single. We're going to go for the left arm. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're really loosening up. We're going to go on to the other. On the right arm, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we're going to just go with the left arm. We're just going to give it a nice stretch down the tricep. So pulling it right the way down your back, as far as you can go. Giving that a nice deep stretch. Switching over to the right, and we're going to stretch on that as well. Amazing. Then we're going to bring the left arm across the body. So we're going to come across, we're going to tuck it with the right arm, and we're going to give it a nice squeeze so that you can feel all the way down the arm that you're stretching. Okay, we're going to go to the other arm. We're going to do exactly the same thing. Okay, we're then going to just wiggle our left foot. So we're going to do little circles with our left foot.
And these things you can do sitting in a chair.
Yeah, you can. And we're going to switch it up to the right foot. And then lifting, if you can, as much as you can. Just give your leg a little bit of a lift up and down to stretch it out.
You like this?
I'm going to go straight in for a quad stretch. So if you keep lifting that up and down, you'll feel the burn. If you can pull it to your bum, then that's fine. But if you can't, keep going up and down. And then we're going to switch it up to the other one. So we're going to go up and down as a variation to that. I'm going to go in for the quad stretch. If you can do that, do it. Okay. Okay, we're going to roll the shoulders back and down again. And we're going to get the dumbbells. or your cans or water or just your upper body, your own body weight. Don't leave us. She would have found them soon.
What? My newly
New toe to heel touches. Well, she's looking. Okay, we've got them. So we're going to open our legs slightly, feet facing forward. And we're going to go in for a squat. Weights are going down the side of your legs and you're coming up. You can go as low as you want, or you can go to a medium slight squat and up. Okay, so we're going to go. Ready?
Same leg each time, or we're switching?
What do you mean?
Are we doing same leg?
We're doing squats. You need both your legs.
Aren't you stepping out?
No.
Okay, we're doing regular squats, like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're going to go 1.
Why does it look like you're going forward?
3.
Am I doing what
4.
You're telling me to do?
5. You're doing good.
Okay.
6. 7. Try and point your knees out. Don't let them come in. 7. That's one thing that I got taught. Yeah, no, they're coming in at the end, Beth. Try and stop that from happening.
What are they doing? They're coming in?
Okay. So we're going to hit the 10. Are we going to do 12? 11 and 12. Perfect. Okay, we're going to put one dumbbell down and we're going to go for an upper body move now. You're going to put your hand on your hip. You're going to put one leg forward over the other leg. So I want you to be able to turn on the oblique. Okay, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Perfect. Let's switch it up to the other leg. So we're going to switch the other leg over. So this one's going over the other leg. And we're going to be turning to the right. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Perfect. Okay, we're going to go into a lower body move. We're going to do a wide squat. We're going to hold the weight in between our legs.
Thank you.
Okay. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here it comes. 11 and 12. Okay, we're going to grab the other dumbbell. And we're going from the shoulders. Okay, we're going to get bounce in the knee. Okay, ready? 1, 2.
So just straight up.
3, 4, 5,
Thank you for the super chat.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Perfect. Okay, put your dumbbells down, give your body a bit of a shake, have some water. How are you feeling?
Good. I need a sip of water. That was a good timing. Okay.
We good?
Uh-huh.
Good. Okay, so dumbbells up.
Double.
Yeah, we're doing the squats again. So legs a little way apart. Then the dumbbells are going to be going down the side of the legs. Okay, are we ready?
Ready.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Perfect. Put one dumbbell down. So left leg over right leg, hand on your hip. And we're turning from the side into an oblique move. So 1, 2, 3, 4,
Thank you for the super chat.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Perfect. We're going into a wide stance squat.
We're not doing the other one?
Sorry?
We're not doing the left side?
Oh yeah, sorry. That's weird. Okay, left leg over right leg. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Into the wide stance squat. Weight between your legs. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You want to feel this burn in the inside of your legs. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Both dumbbells. Up on your shoulders. And slight bend in the knee. And push. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Perfect. Dumbbells down. grab some water.
Okay.
How are you feeling?
Good. Thank you, Habibu.
Huh?
I'm just saying thank you to one of my YouTube people on YouTube.
Oh,
Okay, I'm ready.
okay. So, squats. Legs slightly apart. We're going to start. Facing forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Well done. One weight down. Left leg over right leg. Okay. Ready for the oblique twist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, slow down, 9, 10, 11, and 12.
Can you remind
Switch it
us?
up to the other leg. We haven't forgotten this time, Beth.
Good. Can you remind us what it means when you have crunchy joints or movements?
Sorry?
Can you remind us what it means when you have crunchy joints or movements? But we can talk about it at the end.
Okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, into a wide stance squat. Weight between our legs, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Perfect. Grab the other dumbbell. Last exercise, guys. And then we're going to stretch it out. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Perfect. Okay, grab some water.
I'm going to put these down.
Okay, so we're going to go over the stretches again. So shoulders.
Same ones?
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll find that it's looser.
Mm-hmm.
Eight, 9, 10. Onto the left arm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and onto the right arm. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. And then we're gonna go behind our head with our left arm, stretch down the tricep. And then with the right arm, stretching down the tricep. Oh dear. Can you carry on the stretches and I'll be back in a second?
Sure, except I don't remember what we did next. Oh, the one across the arm.
Give me like 5 minutes and I'll come back on.
Okay. So we're just stretching across the left and then stretching across the right. And then we're doing our left leg ankle twirls. 6 on a count of 12. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right leg, other leg. 1. My balance is not as good today. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then we're doing our kickbacks. If you can reach your shoe, then go ahead and do a deeper stretch, but I am not even considering that today with last week's IT band tweak. I'm very happy to say it is feeling okay during this particular workout. And now the right leg. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let me see. She's not gonna just be able to get in. Let me take off this. Sorry. Oh no. Okay, sorry about that. Oh, I see that we have nasty questions. Wow. Okay, hold on. Sorry for the technical difficulties. When you shut the comments off, you then she can't come back in. So let me do that. And thanks for the support. Thanks for the super chat, Habibu. Hey, when the comments are off on Instagram, are the badges available? I imagine not. Is that correct? She's not back yet. Technical difficulties, yes. The you know that the iPhone, in my opinion, for social media in particular, is not as easy to use. And I find that it's a phenomena that people have been able to use it for so long because, in my opinion, someone having come from the Samsung world, there's no difference in the ease of working with a Samsung for social media in general. It just seems to me there's never a one-touch situation. Okay, let's see if I don't see her back yet. Okay, so that was yes, thank you, Nate. Hey, oh, good, Lori. I'm so glad you were able to join. That's awesome. Yeah, good workout, right? So, actually, this was quite a bit. I mean, this functional fitness is really, um, really helping me a lot. Oh my goodness. It's really helping just everyday mobility. And were you here from the beginning, Lori? Did you see my shirt? I am powerful, I am kind, I am confident, I am beautiful, I am strong, I am capable, I am grateful, I am me. And then I added, and I am alive, right? Because that is so important right now, isn't it? For so many reasons and so many aspects. I did get a good workout, with for women with lipedema, we have approximately, don't quote me on it, but I believe this is the statistic. It's been a while since I've read up on it. I believe we have 40% less muscle than a non-lipidemic woman. So anything that we do with our arms is, like you'll hear from many of us that, like, growing up, just curling our hair with a curling iron was a lot. And so that's twofold because the lipedema in our arms, which about 50% of us have, is heavy. And then we have less muscle. So, like for me, like climbing the ropes in gym or climbing the, going across bars or doing the rings or any of that, that was like never on the, or doing those, the parallel bars where you do the push up, like none of that was ever for me, ever. I always had to go to the bathroom at that time in, PE class. Because that was never gonna, yes, we were focused on squats today, for sure. I was never gonna be able to accomplish those. So, I think one time, um, I can't remember exactly what was happening. Oh, maybe we were doing cartwheels, which was not a thing for me either. I imagine really because of the arms, and then whatever it's heavy to throw the legs over, even at a very very early stage, and I ended up spraining my ankle, and my mother was away on a trip, maybe even for like the first time or something like that. And I was in elementary school, I think. Yeah, I was. And my father had a shoe store, and he was like he was a sole proprietor, and he had a few employees. But I think the day that this happened, um, like two of his people called out sick, and so I um, he had to come and get me, and he had to shut the store down. And I thought, oh my God, I'm gonna be so in trouble. But he was, he took it all in stride and took me to the doctor, and we got it all x-rayed, and they taped it up, and um, it was, just that they just had to be taped for a few days, and no cartwheels, that kind of thing. It's pretty funny. I was not bullied or harassed in high school, elementary school. Any of my bullying came from myself and what I put, my expectations that I put, that I was different than everybody else. I was not really ever treated differently. Um, I was never really treated differently. Um, I don't know. I had a dancing teacher once who told me that I was not going to be able to be in the Rockettes because I wasn't the right height or shape or body size. And the funny part about that was that she for sure had lipedema herself. So that was kind of interesting. Oh, she's back. She's back. Here she is. I know you can't see her on YouTube, and we're going to see if we can figure that out for next week. But we didn't have time to figure it out for this
Hello,
week.
so sorry.
Hello, we're back. I'm going to shut off the comments on IG again because they're too distracting. Hello for the Philippines. Wait, you bullied yourself? How do you do that? Well, you talk to yourself all day long, every day. What was the statistic I read today? We have 90,000 thoughts a day, and 70,000 of them are negative, typically, in most people's mind.
The problem
That's
with
pretty
that
ama-
is
that's
that a
pretty amazing.
negative, unfortunately, a negative will trump a positive.
All the time.
Negative is the negative is a very strong energy.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
if
So that's
you
why
are
it's
in
so
a group,
hard.
if you're in a room with a lot of negative people, but you're a positive person, unfortunately, unless you protect yourself, which is something that I've had to learn to do, you can pick up on that energy. You don't mean to pick up on the energy, but you pick up on the energy, it absorbs into you, and often or not, you'll go home with some of that energy, which is where grounding and things come in to play. And
Which I
like
do on a daily basis.
if I ever feel down, but I've got no reason to feel down, I've probably taken on somebody else's energy.
Right.
And that's the reason why I'm reacting in that way.
Right. Yes. I learned a few weeks back also that if your mood changes, like throughout the day, if all of a sudden your mood changes, typically what's going on down underneath that you don't even recognize is that you're missing someone. And if you tap into that, then you'll reach out, or you'll, have a fond memory of them, or, it's easier to switch that up knowing that, wait a minute, let me think, what just happened that reminded me of so and so, whatever, simple thing as, these glasses, oh, I bought them when I was at such and so works there, and, that kind of, such minuscule things that you just don't even think about, that are really impactful. So Nate, I hope that that answered your question. You know, we've been fed for our whole lives what people are supposed to look like, what they're supposed to do,
Yeah.
what their capabilities are supposed to be, all of those things. So, you know, when I was in those PE classes and I couldn't climb the rope, I was like, okay, you know, I'm not as good as Susie because I can't climb the rope. Susie can climb the rope. And then, you know, with me, I grew up with a mother who had lipedema and struggled with her body her whole entire life. She didn't know it, of course, but she was always on a diet. She was always trying to improve her situation. She was always focused on that. And so, you know, by virtue of that struggle, I knew that you had to have, that there was a struggle in not being like the next person, right? So that was, you know, that was kind of innately brought down, you know, that, you know, when they talk about healing generational trauma, that would be, you know, I imagine for many lipedema women, that would be a huge piece because um, that experience that, you know, then there's the people who have lipedema who seemingly nobody else in their family that they know of did, and then they're different, right? And then they have their skinny sister or their you know, their skinny mother, and you know, they can eat anything they want, and the second that, you know, I look at a glass of water, I gain 5 pounds, and you know, all that kind of thing. So there's a lot of that that goes on. It's actually interesting that you bring that up, Nate, because it isn't actually over all of this time something that I personally have spoken a great deal about, but you're going to be hearing a lot more from me this year as part of self-care, because part of self-care is acknowledging everything that goes on from, you know, your head to your toes, and there's so much headspace that happens with having just chronic illness in general. It doesn't even have to be lipedema related. So that's, you know, that is definitely a big thing. There's another question here that was a good one. Hold on a second, Karen. Did my mother have lipedema to my extent? Yes, she was probably more pronounced. She was more pronounced saddlebags, and she had a butt shelf. Um, oh, so somebody is asking, having such a sexualized body, especially in this time and era, do you get harassed in public? How do you handle that? And also, does it interfere with your relationships? So I'm not somebody to talk to about sexualized bodies because I believe that uh, I believe that sexualization is a normal thing. I believe that we were created to have sexual interests in other people. So that's my belief. So I don't think it's odd that I would find somebody attractive, somebody would find me attractive. I don't think these are things that are odd. Okay? Maybe the way people go about it these days is odd. Yes, that's odd. The way that people are so you know, lack of boundaries, yes, that is odd. However, I think that you know, I am a woman who is strong, who is powerful, who stands on her own. For the majority of my life, I was a woman who was noted for her personality, who was noted for her empathy, who was noted for her helping nature, who was noted for her smarts. And people have always, throughout my whole entire life, have always gravitated toward me and my leadership abilities and that kind of thing. So it's not until the past, I don't know, 5 years ish. I don't know, we're in the pandemic, so just go with me on 5 years ish, that my body ever came into the conversation. And so I can understand that that holds some appeal, but that is so in my opinion, so not why anybody is drawn to me. It may be a first glance, but that's not what's going to get the second glance. So I think that we're confused about that. I think that there's always a connection that comes when when there's that kind of energy exchange. And then has lipedema interfered with my relationships? Not really, I don't think, except for any of barriers that I put on myself. Probably, that's probably where it lies for me, I think.
I think it interferes with relationships when people don't understand. I see a lot of that in the community, that their spouses or family members don't understand. So in terms of relationships, personal relationships or intimate relationships, yes, but definitely family dynamics and public dynamics, it interferes with relationships. You see it all the time. It doesn't interfere with my relationships. I'm the same as you. I'm very independent and strong-minded with all of this. But it's taken time. I used to be very insecure with all of this. When I was a lot bigger and I was presenting a lot more of the disease, and it was so misunderstood at that time, yeah, I had massive insecurities. And I don't doubt there are many thousands of women out there that have got insecurities because of this illness.
Of course.
So it affects relationships every single day.
Of course.
And not only that, I see it written where it's affected the relationship in a marriage. It's affected the relationship within the children, within the home. It's affected my relationship with my family. They don't understand. They've not understood all the way through. Right. I've had some turbulent conversations with family members because of the illnesses that I've got. And you feel like you have to defend yourself because you've got these illnesses. And that's the thing that needs to change, is that we don't need to defend ourselves anymore. We have an illness and we're here as I am within my business. I'm here to promote the business and to be able to help people hands-on and online. Within that business, you're here, you're motivational speaking, you're out there helping women,
right,
day after day, trying
how
to
often
give
do you see
as
somebody
much
that looks
as
like
you can
this?
of yourself. And there are thousands of us out there that are trying to do that. But the ones that are left behind are the ones that are hiding because of these insecurities.
Right.
And that's what needs to change.
Right. And I mean, we should step back and say that both you and I have done a tremendous amounts of work throughout our lives.
Yeah.
And so as you were talking about when you were at your biggest, so when I was at my biggest, which was basically, I was at least 150, more than that, 160 pounds bigger than I am now. And I remember on the downslope how when I would get to different stages, how differently I would be treated by people, just in public, how, I could have been, it's like the elephant in the room is really a true statement, because I could have walked
100%.
into a room and been the biggest person there, but be absolutely invisible. And you know me, I don't have an invisible personality, right? So I don't have an invisible voice. My voice wasn't different. My personality wasn't different. I'm sure that I was, I was grumpier, I was sleepier, simply because, it's a lot, right? It's a lot. And you can pick your poison. Is it easier to live in a bigger body? Or is it easier to do the work to not? And I would say it's easier to do the work to maintain being in a smaller body. And
when I was in a bigger body, I was unhappy. When I was in a bigger body, I was unhappy, but I didn't know about these illnesses.
Sure.
The first diagnosis came of lymphedema. Mm-hmm. Lipedema came down the line. But when I was in a bigger body, it basically took over to a point, But then when I was in a smaller body, I had never experienced the kind of pain I did.
Yeah, I mean,
And actually, Dr. Bolog, but I can't remember it. I can't pronounce his name. But the patients that he sees that are in early stages always say that they're in so much pain, and the reason is because there's no natural fat holding the lipedema. I'm doing a talk on Wednesday on my Instagram with a fellow lipedema sufferer, Sarah, who has lost an extreme amount of weight, the same as me, but we went to the other end of the spectrum with lipedema in the body still. And what we've done and what we're continuing to do is to transition and begin to love a different body again. But what we've transferred is the fat that was holding the lipedema in a bigger body. We have lost the natural fat. We're left with lipedema, which was extremely painful. And now we're transferring the fat that we had in the bigger body into muscle, because the muscle now needs to hold the lipedema because of the pain aspect of the lipedema.
Yeah.
So there's a whole transference going on.
Yeah. So in my case, when I lost so I officially had lost more than 220 pounds at my lowest. But during that time, that was over a 2-year process. And during that time, even, from day one, I was doing weight training every day for 30 minutes in that,
See, that's the massive difference. When I lost it, I was full on keto, and I was doing Pilates. I taught myself to do Pilates, but weight training, no, because I didn't know anything at that stage. Had I been doing weight training, yes, it probably wouldn't have been as extreme as it was, because once I lost the weight, I then went on to fascia blasting straight away, and that loosened up the lipedema within the fascia, and I ended up with some serious loose skin.
Which,
and then it was a case of turning that into muscle so then that can hold in the body.
So you may have just brought up a good point about when you started fascia blasting, you weren't full of muscle.
No.
So see, that would be different for me, right? Because I'm still full of muscle all under here, right? I mean, now we just can't, we can't see any of it. Although the other day my muscle was moving and I was like, oh, look at that. You can see it all moving. That's an interesting, that is an interesting
if I fascia blast now, where I've got extreme amounts of muscle, because I hopefully within the next few weeks, I'm going to challenge myself to do a cut. And I'm actually going to cut and see whether or not I can really get the definition through. So I'm going to do it with my trainer, and see whether or not this is a challenge that I need to take on. I've been intrigued. I've done a lot of research on it. I'm like, if there is any natural fat left over, I want to see if I can cut it, because the muscle now is extreme in my legs, my arms, my back, everywhere. But I don't have the goddess of muscle body because of the lipedema sitting on top, and it's the most excruciating, frustrating thing I've got going on in my life. That's just my life, not anybody else's. That's what's my life. And obviously I'm fighting as well because of the hypermobility and EDS side of things, which I'm not going to lie, it's got worse over the last couple of years, and I suspect I have got to control it with this. I mean, because now obviously I'm a part of the EDS and Hypermobility Foundation. I have spoken to quite a few people, especially consultants, and it is a case of making sure that muscle stays as strong as you possibly can. But then they don't understand the side of it with lipedema within the skins. The muscle is like the lipedema is just sitting on the top, and if that wasn't there, then this would be so defined as it is. But it's yeah, that's my fight. That's my thing.
Right. Well, and learning that this is, that again, it's
you
not
made
our
a good
fault.
point. Fascia blasting on muscle, I find it much easier. The definition comes through a hell of a lot more now that I've got muscle. When I had no muscle, what it was doing was cutting through the fascia, through the skin, and it was just creating pockets. It was emptying pockets. The lipedema wasn't going anywhere. It was the fascia that was holding it, that was like all congealed, which you thought was muscle, but it wasn't. It was fascia. And as soon as you flatten it and take it through, then obviously it gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And then now we're filling those pockets with muscle so that the lipedema is held within the muscle. Do you remember the film, like where John Travolta and what's his name? Nicholas
Cage?
Yes, and it was like Face Off. Do you remember Face Off,
I
the
remember
movie?
the name of that
Yeah,
movie.
I want lipedema off.
Right.
I've been saying it to myself all day, but I've been saying it as an affirmation because that's something that I'm trying to bring into my life.
Okay.
As a new challenge.
All right. Well, I like it. Okay, you gave me another one that I have to do now. So, as I mentioned at the beginning, the other contributor to this live is Karen Windsor of Kaz Talks, Kaz Talks, on Instagram. And she's in the UK. She herself is also a lipedema sufferer, but she looks much different than I do because she has a very athletic build. Now that all of her weight loss has happened, she herself has in the 200-pound loss club, and you would never know it looking at her. I am, what did I say? So I'm like about 60 pounds up from my lowest. And even if we were at the same size, we would look very differently because our lipedema presents itself differently.
Very differently
on us. So, I definitely have to. My problem is that my photos are in storage, and that storage is not accessible. So one of the reasons why I have never presented any of my pre-pictures or even my lowest pictures is because they're just not accessible. But I'm hoping that over the next time that's going to change. So so that's because I think that people hear me talk about it, but they don't understand it. They just see me, for the most part, in the same body that they've seen me in the past 3 years, right? And they don't recognize that, wow, I've done a lot of work.
Beth has got an extraordinary story, and when that story comes out, it's so worth telling, because I think that that's a story that a lot of ladies will relate to.
For sure.
I think you have your own niche within your own story, the same as I've got my own niche within my own story.
I think you're absolutely right. I think you're right. Okay. This is so informative. Yes. Oh, so someone is saying on YouTube that this is so informative, and they had no idea that there was so much involved, that they've known people with lipedema, whether they knew it or not is a whole separate story, but in retrospect, right? Which is back to my grassroots efforts in the beginning of my journey here. And because with 11% of women, that's 1 in 9 women have lipedema. So everybody knows somebody.
You can be walking down the road and you'll see someone.
Oh yeah, and it's so much higher than that.
It's that common now that it's there.
It's so much higher than that. It's crazy. But in any case,
the funniest thing that keeps happening to me is like people that I went to school with will. Like, they'll see some sort of gimmick to do with the lymph, and they'll message me and they'll be like, you're like the lymphatic person. What do you think of this? And I'm like, no. Like, I think it was like ginger socks.
Oh,
if you wore ginger socks, and I
there you
literally
go.
like you wear these socks and they detox and the lymph comes out and blah blah. I said, do you know what? You've just stumbled across a cure.
You know, I have forgotten that I was going to do it. And actually, it was 1 year ago. My God, it was a year ago because I was at Whole Foods and I bought these two gorgeous heads of cabbage. And I paid an arm and a leg for them because they were at Whole Foods and I was not even going to eat them. So clearly they didn't have to be the highest quality cabbage. But I was going to do an experiment of wrapping them. You steam them, you blanch them, and you wrap them around your knees.
She's going to put the cabbage on her legs.
Yeah, and sleep in it. And then
Yeah.
I just never got around to it. And now we're back to, so I guess I got to do it. I mean, it would be fascinating. Well, I mean, I know that there is a lipedema woman who used this as a treatment, and
Yeah.
she was a stage 3 at least, and she's way tinier than you are, and so I mean that's like crazy, 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 crazy. But that was one of her remedies. And she would wrap her legs in those with saran wrap, and she would wake up and there would be a difference in her inflammation. So if I could ever move the inflammation in my knees like that, that'd be amazing. So,
Beth, do me a favour and go into your neck, because look, it's changing. So you can either go in on top of your collarbone, or you can just go up it. But like really lightly, you're just moving. That you're not moving the skin. You're just on top of the lymph.
okay.
And you can do the other side, and then just go down your neck, because I'm in the back of my throat. Can you feel that?
Yeah, already.
Yeah.
We're sidetracked. So
I think because we've trained.
one of the things that we haven't talked about today is that this disease is very impacts the lymphatic system, whether you have lymphedema or not. It does. So back to the question or the comment, they never knew that there was so much to do with this disease and how it's like a full-time job. And you are absolutely right. It is like a full-time job, managing it, learning, trying new things, trying to convince medical professionals that you need this or that or the other thing.
It's trial and error for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, trial and error. Until, of course, we figure out the cure, Karen. There's that.
Ginger socks.
Yes. I'm going to try those tonight. Who knows? Maybe. I actually am going to, I hope, try some cod liver oil. You know, that's something that gets used in the clinic before the decongestant pumps with the MLD, and that has the anti-inflammatory properties. But I'm going to see about doing a people do cod liver oil tummy wraps for helping their digestion and their liver and all this kind of thing. And I think I'm going to try that also on my knee and see what happens. I mean, what's the worst thing that happens? It works. I mean, wouldn't that just be a kick?
You can just see whether or not it works.
Right. Yes, and I hadn't seen this before either, but then someone else was doing their like their dry brushing and their kind of like a fascia, but it's like a pulling tool with cod liver oil on the legs to improve the lymphatics. And I was like, oh well, that's another. We don't really talk much about the cod liver oil, so it's kind of interesting. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, let me see if there's any other Yes, Jay, she is beautiful inside and out and full of
Ah,
knowledge
thank
and
you.
tenacity. My girlfriend has hips, but she's not diagnosed with lipedema. She's not diagnosed with lipedema because most people aren't. And I just learned a fun statistic yesterday that most women with lipedema are forget that they're rarely diagnosed, but generally their diagnosis is self-driven. Like
Hmm.
the statistic on that is huge, and it's the same
The
thing.
statistic on that is huge, but that's because this is a self-care illness.
Well, and it's
I
because
cannot
the
stress
medical
it enough. It is a
professionals.
self-care illness.
Yes.
Yes, there is a healthcare system. Yes, there is an NHS system here in the UK. But we have 99% of the time, we've got to look after ourselves. Otherwise, you will get worse. There is nothing more that you can do. You have got to control what is going on with the illness.
Yes, but we do need to create more awareness so that more people
100%.
are diagnosed earlier and that the medical professionals actually know it.
Yeah, the next generation. I hope the next generation don't have to sit on Instagram or whatever the next thing is for the future and have these talks about why we're not listened to, why we can't get diagnosed, why we can't get treatment,
why we have to bring the standard of care to the doctor.
Dynamic problems, why nobody wants to listen to us. Like that's the part of it that needs to change.
There you go. I appreciate your contribution to this discussion, Jay, but that's not what I'm here for. So there's that. Do women with lipedema have a harder time conceiving children? No, not necessarily. That's not necessarily. No, that's not necessarily. Although there are many women that do have PCOS that have lipedema as well.
That is a very common.
So there is
very, very common. Like I have a lot of women who come in to my clinic, and they are endometriosis or PCOS within lipedema.
Yes, I mean I was diagnosed with PCOS when I was 19, and I thought that it was going to be difficult to get pregnant, and there was that fear. I thought that I was going to have to plan for IVF and all of that because that was sort of,
I do know a lot of women who because of those comorbidities, they haven't been able to have children.
Sure. Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like when you look at lipedema, you don't realise that lipedema isn't just what is going, like lipedema in a whole, it isn't just what's going on in the body. It is often met by 2 or 3, for me 8 different illnesses alongside it. And then you've got to think of MCAS, which Marcel 100%.
Which is not easy to get a lockdown on either. Yes. So, I think that it's one of the things is that it's never a simple thing. However, as Karen would say, alongside these illnesses, there's a good majority that are actually quite healthy because we have followed such healthy protocols for the majority of our lives. However, to look at us, our bodies would not indicate that in relation to standard ideals of what a healthy body looks like. I mean, often I'm way healthier than, my doctor. I'm way healthier than my, fitness
I'm way
pal.
healthier than 99.9% of everybody in the whole world.
Correct. Yes. I mean, me personally, the last time that I went to Dr. Herbst and she did my blood work, she was like, oh my God, I could only pray to have this kind of blood work, so it's... the
kind of tests that you get out in the States, we wouldn't even be able to get half of here in the UK.
Yeah. And I have.
I'm seriously looking into getting a whole hormone transcript done. Because I'm just interested to see where all my levels are.
Sure.
But I'm going to have to go private to get any of that sorted.
Yes, thank you. Yes, I am natural brows and natural eyelashes, and I'm kind of an all natural kind of a girl. This is 100% all natural.
The only thing that's not natural is my eyelashes. You have to realise I have to get up and go to work first thing in the morning. I haven't got time to keep doing this.
Everybody has their
I'm getting my eyebrows done.
Everybody has their
tricks.
Hopefully
within a couple of weeks.
Yeah. So anyway, I think we've solved the problems of the world again today.
Yes, I think we have literally put all of the fires out.
Of course we do.
And I'll let you know after this why I had to go.
Okay. We do. We are, as Karen talked about earlier about the gratitudes. We do acknowledge that there is horrendous despair going on around the world, and now I have chills. I try not to ever be political on my socials. I try not to.
When you get somebody who asks you, when you get somebody who asks you, what are you doing about such and such? My answer to that is, I'm doing what I can for my community. So in the world today, I'm helping my community, and in my gratitude list, I'm an energy healer, I'm Reiki Stakem, I'm sending love and healing to everybody affected by world politics at the moment, but I concentrate on the community that I work with because that's what I can do best.
Exactly. And within that community, there are people that need our inspiration, our guidance, our positivity to be able to handle what's going on in the world. There's
a lot of anxiety out there.
There is a tremendous amount, and my heart goes out to everybody who is faced with that struggle, just praying for everybody's safety, of course, for sure. So anyway, on that note, thank you all for joining us so much. We will be back next week at the same time,
next week we'll be back at the same time.
Right, and then the following week we'll revert.
Yes, we'll revert back.
So right now our time schedules are different.
This coming week it will be functional fitness with a kettlebell.
Okay. I've got my kettlebell right here. So we'll be using a kettlebell next Monday for Movement Monday, and we will be here at 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time, and 6 p.m. Great Britain time, whatever we call that now. I don't know, because I'm is it? Yeah, anyway. So I'm just saying in what arena, what areas, what time zones. And so we'll be back. So be sure that you're subscribed, that you have your notifications on, and that you set your come
back. Because we're fun. We're fun to be with.
We are fun to be with. That's true too. So I hope everybody who joined us had a great workout and got some movement on themselves. Be sure, know that you can obviously do this workout again throughout the week, and there are more workouts on my IGTV that we've done over the past 2 years, and some also on YouTube as well. So we'll see you all. Have a fabulous week, and thanks for connecting with us. See ya.
Okay, see you later.
Bye. See ya. See ya.